Masechta Bava basra, Daf Kuf Zayin Amud Aleph. We're starting from Kuf Vav Amud Beis, around 13, 14 lines in the top, in the middle of the Amud Itma. Zak Yimara Itma, we learned the Machlokes of Amoraim. Shnei Achim Shacholku, two brothers that divided a Yerusha between each other. And the Cheshbon was, they're only two brothers, so they're going to divide Mamish half and half. Umitamo balahen ach Medin Sayam. A third brother came from Medin Sayam. He says, "Ich bin da."
A stepbrother.
No. He says, "Hey, where's my chelik? You guys are dividing between yourselves." Rabbaman but machlekes. The whole division that these two brothers make between each other is gone. So you have to start over, right? Shmuel Amim Mekamtzin. Shmuel says, whatever they did, there's zeichin. So let's say there's 6 fields. So each one got 3. So each one will now have to give away 1. So it'll be 2, 2, and 2. It'll be equal thirds. Yeah. Zok the Yimar Amalei Rabbi Nachman. Rabbi said to Rav Nachman, Rav the Oma, according to Rav, that says batal machlekes, that the machlekes is a redo. So it's batal. You have to do it over. Alma hadadina. So you see, you learn from him that the din it has to be redone. So Alamiyata says, "Oh, really? The din has to be done? I'll give you a similar case, and we know for sure it's not redone. Where do we see that? Hani bar beit lasa. There were 3 shutvim, and in such a case, the kaim of also beit rei menayu polit, and the two out of the 3 shutvim decided, I want out. I don't want to be a shutv. It's a kadeira shabishul barab mishlok zich yadeina. There's kalt, there's vam. I don't want to deal with that. So 2 of the shutvim, they split up, and he took.
You had to pay him off.
He took off. No, he took off his third. Let's say 3 shutim. So there's 3 chalak into the field. So one shutim took his third, and the other shutim took his third, and the remaining shutim was left with his third. So now, so what happened? The third guy comes. He went ahead to Bezdin, and you divided between each other, and you didn't call me. I'm a third shutim. You should have called me. Over there, you're going to say the machlekes has to be a redo? It's batal? No, we know it's not. Because he's anyway going to be left over exactly with a third.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
If you're not there,
So just like over here, we didn't say you're batal machlekes. Why, when the third brother came, did we say it's batal machlekes according to the Rav? After you could you then make a comparison? They all happy to get out of the shutvis. So okay, so the Pearl Mamish, everybody's going to be getting they were getting an equal third. Nothing happened. Nothing was tricked over here. Here was a bigger problem. Here they didn't know about the third one, so they first divided it in half. So this is not. It's not done. It's a chalukah betos. So that's why it's bottled. The chalukah wasn't betos. It was done, third. One guy wasn't there. He automatically got his third. So what? But over here, when they made the division, it was a chalukah betos. And that's why we'll say over here, that has to, we'll say it's about machlekes. Papa said to Shmuel Yama, according to Shmuel, that he says mekamtzen. Mekamtzen means that whatever they're holding on to is theirs. And if they took extra, each one will give their third a part away, and that will be equal. In fact, the company, no. According to Shmuel, you're going to say, Taka, the din remains, that we're not going to call back the chalukah. It's not going to be bottle, everybody gets the chelik. All they have to do is give away a little part, so it should be equal. In fact, Rav Shmuel, Rav and Shmuel, they both said, Kur b'shleish mani a kur for 30 soyim. 30 sloim is 30 saw. Kur is 30 saw. For 30 sloim, I'm telling you, as long as he didn't give him the 30 saw, he could back out. If he didn't yet take the 30th saw. But kur b'shleishim, he says first kur for 30 sloim. And then he says saw b'sela. So that means he's selling each unit separately. So there you can't. So then Ishan Kaina, whatever he took was a kinyan. Every Mashiach he took was a separate unit because that's how it was done according to Beis Lashon Achrein. The Lashon Achrein was that it was that each saw was its separate unit. So the Yimara Hasam is a difference. Hasma v'Rabbanan milsa than nichalei lamecha, but nichalei lakeich. What are you dealing with the slayim? Kurbish shleishim. And then he says, kurbish shleishim, that he can back out because they want to be able to back out. Lekeich wants the buyer wants to be able to back out up to the last saw because he's hoping the price will fall. And the meiches is hoping it should be he'll back out. He doesn't want. He wants to be able to back out because if the price goes up, he'll be able to take the whole price, a higher price.
Like you were sold
Huh?
real estate.
Yeah.
Too cheap. You could go up.
Yeah. So here you go. So you see, they both have a pniya that it should.
Everybody had that.
Till the last time, everyone had a benefit that they should be able to back out. The meich had a benefit that he would hope that it would go up. That's why he wants to be able to back out. The lekeach has a benefit because he hopes the price will fall. But in our case, my shutvim, they don't want to get back. They don't want to do any redo over. They don't want to go back in the shutvis. They hate the shutvis. So there it's different. The shutvis, the splitting up the shutvis stays. Just there was a mistake with one of them, so you give him his chelik. So you want to eat mom and even Hagam. Okay, we're soon going to learn. Eat mom Yelent Achin Shecholku, brothers that came to divide. Uba Balchayv and not the Chalkeshacham. Two brothers divided the karka. And this one we got the let's say the Donum side. This guy that got the Tzofim side. The Balchayv is Yikumen and the Chaptonena, the Tzofim side. Let's say he owes me money, and he grabbed from one of the brothers. The Havama Bat Machlekes. It's a redo because he says that both of them divided it, right? And Rav holds when they divided it, it was clear that they're getting it with the chayv, the chalukah. It's the chayv of the father.
How do you do that? The guy.
So according to Rav says that
both do money. Both of them do that. There's a bachayv over here.
What do you mean both of them?
You see, a guy comes and takes a chaylik.
Each one takes a chaylik. Rav says the machlokes is batal. Why? Because they are considered as yorshim. They directly lechatchila was mover adav l'mafrei. Whatever they get is theirs. It's clear.
Right.
That this chelik was supposed to go to him, to Reuven, and this one's supposed to go to Shimon, and it was clear that there was a shibud on the kakoyis.
Do you know about it? There's a shibud?
Sure, even if they didn't, but it comes. That's how it goes. This is how the Hashbam says. Shibud agov lefrei yechev shel aviyim. There's a shibud, and hamirish ma'akakam shel
The father owed money to somebody.
Right, the father owed money to somebody, so now he takes the balchev comes to collect. So according to Rav, they're considered as yorshim, not lekuches, in the chelik that they took. So according to Rav, the Maisa Chalukah was already mover l'mafreya. Oh, in a second. So they knew each one what they're getting, right? So they know exactly what they're getting, and they got it together with the shibud. Both of them got it with a shibud. Right. So if he takes, they have to redo it. Because one guy can't lose. It's equal.
They have to get both together.
Both together. Shmuel says viter. Shmuel says they're like lekuches because there's a second transaction. When they're Yodesh, they don't know which one, who's getting what chelik. So they make up a deal that listen, I'm ready to be Michael this half, so that you should get this half, and you be Michael me that half, and I'll get the other half. So it's like they made a upmach as if like lekuches, like buyers. And each one says to the other, I'm not, we split up, we have nothing to do with each other. I didn't take a chayis for your chelik, because now we're lekuches. As lekuches, they came and took it away, so I don't have to pay for anything. And that's what Shmuel says.
Whoever got is lucky.
Well, yeah. Whoever still remains with his chelik, and the balchev didn't take it from him, he's the lucky one. Yeah. So that's what Shmuel says. Ravasi says, I'm a supik. I don't know if he's considered as a yodesh that each one, it's considered as huvel when each one takes their chelik. It's like huvel adam la'afreya that each one gets their chelik, or they're like lekuches. I'm not sure. So noitra avi bekak oy. You have to say oy devi b'mois. He says Ravasi says since it's a suffix, So I'm not gonna. So the person who got his chelik keeps his chelik, and he only has to give away a quarter. I mean, half of a half, either money or either in kaka, because it's a suffix. Maman abut will suffix chelik. He says this half is a suffix. I'll only give you a quarter, half of my half.
So where does the Balchay collect from?
Where the bachay collected from one of the fields,
Then what happens?
according to Ravasi, right?
Yeah.
Ravasi says he goes to the guy who nothing was taken from him.
The other two, no?
There's two brothers.
Two brothers?
Yes. And the Bachay grabbed from one of them. So now the one that is remaining with the karka could tell him either I give you a quarter of my karka, because
The
it's
other brother lost
to the brother that lost the karka, he tells him I'll give you a quarter in karka
Why does he want
or
to
a
give
quarter
him?
in money.
Why does he want to give him now?
Huh?
Why does he want to give him? For what?
Why does he want to give him? He has to give him because he says, I'm not sure if the halach is like Rav, that you have to redo everything and you split it in half, or the halach is like Shmuel, that he gets nothing. Mitzad HaSafik, we'll give him a quarter. We'll split it in half.
To quiet down.
To quiet him down, yeah, but the Mvafna Beindel. Other will give him money, or you can give him either a quarter of karka or a quarter of money. But only a quarter. Okay?
Not too much.
Not half. He doesn't have to split the He only has to give him a quarter.
They originally divided the karka in half. Each one took half, right?
Each one took a
Came
field.
about 5 and took away a half.
Let's say there were two fields. One field was taken away. So now one remains with a full field and they didn't pay anything to the Baal Chayiv. So according to Rav, it's a redo, and they have to split the Chayiv. And whatever the karka now is left over, that they split in half. They split in half.
So what does Ravasi
Shmuel says he doesn't have to pay him back nothing. The Lakuchis lost it. Ravasi says, I'm not sure who the Lach is like. So I'll split it between the two, so it'll be a quarter. Either money or the one who's remaining with the karka either gives him a quarter of his karka or he pays him a quarter in money.
Is that what we said before, that if you split it, he also gave him a
He gave him half.
Now he only gives him a quarter?
Quarter, yes.
So he remains with 3/4 of the
Yes.
He gives him a quarter of money.
Or he can give him a money in the worth of a quarter of a karka. That's what the Rashbam says. Yeah. Rav says, but machlekes. Rav said that the whole machlekes is a redo. Kasava, because he holds brothers that divided, a Yerusha, Yerusha hein. They're considered as Yerushin, Nishkin Lekuchis, because we say Huver Adam Lafrei, what each one took, that was Lechatchilas signed up for them, those parts that they got. And also part of what was signed up with them was the Chayiv. So therefore it's a redo. If if the karka was taken away, so now we'll deal only with the karka that's left over, and that they divide. Shmuel Amar, Shmuel says Vite. Why? Kasava, he holds Achan Shachoglu, Kilakuchas have like buyers in their part, because we don't say Huvra Adam Mafei, whatever they took is theirs. No, they have to work it out. And they have to work out, okay, I'll be Mavat on this one, you'll be Mavat on this one. We have no responsibilities over each other, and whoever loses, loses. So he says, Shaloi ba'achayis nami, Shaloi ka'achayis nami, or Shaloi ba'achayis nami. But Shaloi ba'achayis nami, it's by Lekech, somebody who buys karka, he buys it, it's a case that he bought it without a chayis, and therefore the Malchayv of the father comes and takes from one of the brothers, it was Shaloi ba'achayis, it's too bad, tough luck.
So you're the lucky guy.
Yeah. Ravasi Mesafka. Ravasi was Mesupik. If brothers who divide Yershim Haba are considered as Yershim, or Kilakuchis Haba, or they're considered as buyers, and therefore he doesn't get anything back. He'll
If Yoshim doesn't give him a part.
if it's Yoshim, then he has to give him Mamish half. They have to redo the whole thing and divide whatever's left after the Balchev took it. According to Shmuel, he was Mavata. According to Avasi, I'm Mesupik. Hilkach Neutel either via Bekaka, or either via Bekaka. Either he takes a quarter of the one who was left, the whole kaka, the guy gives him only a quarter, or via Bemois, or he can give him a quarter in mais, in money. Omer Papa. Hilchas Hanishmaitz. The halacha is in all these dinim by the two brothers, you remember, that divided, and then the third brother came. So what did he paskin? Shmuel mekamtzen, that the vision stays when the third brother gave, each one gives away, so it should be an equal third. And the same thing, and he also paskins like Shmuel, that over here, if the two brothers divided, they're like buyers, and if the Balchiv took from one of them, tough luck for that guy, he doesn't get anything back.
Isn't it a couple that complained before to Abaya in the case where he sold bought a field?
He
and
thought it was 20
and
and
20 and
15.
it's really 15.
Yeah.
So he ran to Abaya.
Abaya, yeah. You
Here,
joke.
over here became a Pesach.
Why not? Amema
Before he
says,
went to Abaya's own Paskinin.
I can paskin if I was
But
not.
Rabbi Shmuel paskined.
No problem. He could paskin that way. And the halacha is usually like Shmuel when it comes to dinim amanis. But Amema batamach like
He
this.
was a businessman.
He was in beer. He sold beer. We had the Gemara before in Ezel Nation. Yeah, in Ezel Nation. Okay, Amema says batamach. Amema says the halacha is like Rav, that the machlokes is a redo. And if the Balchiv took away one of the karka, it's a redo. And
Redo it.
and also when the three brothers when two brothers divided, third one came, a redo. So the hilchasa batla machlekes. The halacha is batla machlekes, even though the halacha is like Shmuel when it comes to dinim mamanes. Over here, the halacha is going to be like Rav. Three dayanim that were, if we had this similar before, Shumal dayanim. Three dayanim came to evaluate the karka of Nichse Yisraelim. They cannot sell it. Who do they need the money for? For the almana, for the sisters. So they needed the money. So Bezdin has to now sell this karka, and they evaluate it. But look what happens. Echad, one of the dayanim's oimer says, "B'mana, it's worth 100 zuz." Ushnayim, but two of the dayanim oimim masayim, it's worth 200
The
zuz.
property is worth 200.
Yeah, and one of the dayanim said it's worth 100, and two said 200.
It's not in the business.
Yep. Echad oimer masayim.
China 2 against 1.
Oh, very good. Echad oimer masayim. If one said 200, Ushnayim oimim b'mana, or right. That's what the answer is. Or if one said it's evaluated as 200, and two of them evaluated it as 100 zuz, batul yochid b'mi'utei. That means achrei ram lahatis. We go according to the Reiv. Whatever the Reiv says, that's what we follow. Okay, because he wants to tell you the sefer. Now, one dayan said echadema b'mana. One said it was worth 100 zuz. Echadema be'esim sloyim. Sloyim is 4 zuz to a seller. So 20 times 4 is 80. So one evaluated it as 80 zuz. One evaluated 100 zuz. One evaluated 80. Ve'echad oima b'shloishim. Shloishim sloyim is every seller's 4. 30 times 4 is 120 zuz.
Even more.
So it's even more. One said 100, one said 80, and one said 120. Neither. Oh no! 1 second. No, that's not it. Not this time. Nidun b'mana. The Hanakama says we go according to the middle. One said 80, one says 120, so we go according to the middle. Nidoin tishin. We evaluated by 90. What does it mean we shots up between them? You have 80, and you have the highest one is 120. How much is the difference between 80 and 120? 40. You mishalshin, you divide 40 by 3 is 13.3. 13.3. So you add 13.3 to the lowest one. So how much would it be? 93?
Close.
93.3. Okay, we'll soon see. That's what he said. Says the Gemara, the one that says, you know, if you had one for 80, and one for 100, and one for 120, so the one that said for mana, you always go according to the middle one. That's what he says. He says, on a negim,
It was 93.
it's like a pshara. You go to Shuma Soyis.
Something like 93.
No. Now we're going to, there's three sheetas. One said you do 90, because one said 80 and one said 120 and 90. One said 80, one said 100, one said 120. So the Tanakama says how you gonna do it? Tanakama says the middle one, mana. That's between the 80 and the 120. Now, Rabbi Elazar Reb Tzaddik, Nida Matishim, he says 90. Why 90? Kasava, because he holds ha'ara, really, this ara tishin shava. The real value is 90. People make mistakes. Nobody can be exact in saying the exact value. So he says you look between the people who made the smallest mistakes. Who made the smallest mistakes? If the real value is 90, the one that said 80 and the one that said 100. Those are the small, that's where the difference is in 10. The 120 is, as I told you, like with my father, he asked Archie to testify that the cop couldn't see it because he was on the corner. So he said to the judge, the judge asked how far was he? 5 miles away. 5 miles, I said, guilty, he tells him. So here, you say the same thing. 120 is the Zaguzma, it's so far out. So he says, he says, the one that said it was 20 slime, which means 80 zuz. He made a mistake in undervaluing it in 10. This one that said mana is 100. He overvalued it 10. That's why it's not 90. Cut and paste it and do the same thing for the higher number. Say the real price is 100, and you have 120 and 100. Why did you put the 100 to the 80? You use it. Right. Adrabah, hi. Say the real value is 110. The one that says 100 undervalued it 10. And the one that said it's 30 slime 120. He overvalued it 10. Why don't we do it this way? We should hop on the first upshots in the 80 and the 100 versus the 100 and the 120. Why? The materialist man of because he says, and he uses the lashon in the Rashbam, because tafastim don't like tafastim. You don't go after the big numbers. You start off with the smaller numbers and you do the evaluation of the smaller numbers. Others say, you make an evaluation between the 80, which is the lowest, and the 120, and so it's 40, and you mishalsh. Shalsh means mitzatel tevrai, so it's 13.3 for each one. So kasabri hayara tishin utz tlasa v'tilsa shavi. He says, and this karka is worth 93.3. Hi comma esim. This one said it was 20 slain, which is 80. Katay tlasa v'tilsa la'acheri. So he made a mistake in 13. He undervalued it 13.3. Behind the common money, and the one that said it was 100 zuz, he overvalued it 13.3. That's not 13.3. If you go from 93.3 to 100, it's only 6.7. So what does that mean? He says, really, he wants to say 106.3, so it should be 13.3. The high loikama, this that he didn't say it's such a high number because some of them is studied the matfina kulihaya chavroi. He says it's enough that I'm adding to the regular value to go so high. I was afraid, so that's why. No, but in Zaynaigen, he says it. He says it would look too high, so he was afraid to go too far. But really, he meant to say 106.6. Okay, these are the outsiders. Okay, let's cut and paste and do the 13.3. Not saying that it's from 80 you add 13.3. Say that you add from 100 13.3, and that's the real value. Say the amount was 113.3, and now you'll say, hi, the Ka'ama Mana, the one that says it's 100, he undervalued it 13.3. He undervalued it 13.3. Behind the Ka'ama Shleishim, and the one that said 120, He overvalued it 13.3. If the real price is 113.3 to 120, is only 6.7 again.
Yeah.
So he says, really he wanted to say 126.3. Sava, but he thought, I'm afraid the Matvina Kuli Haya Chavroi. He said it's enough that I added on 6.7. If I had 13.3, it's going to look.
He made already money on that.
No, but he says it'll look too much. He was afraid to go. But really, he meant to say 126.6. So facts in the Shiloh, what makes you say that the starting point is 103.3? And the difference of the 13.3 is between the one that said 80, undervalued it 13.3, and the one that said 100 really want to say 106. Maybe the real price is 103. What?
Why are we jumping to these, decimal points here,
But that's what it comes out. The difference between 80 and 120 is 40. And it says Mishalshin. Divide 40 by 3, you're going to be 13.3. Dude, 13 times 3 is 39. Then 3 times 0.3, 3 times is almost 40. So the 0.3 and 0.333, whatever. So that's what he was telling you. But he's asking you, why are you evaluating on the lower end, saying that the real price is 103.3, and we're Lagabe 80, the one who says 80, he undervalued it 13.3, and the one that said 100 meant to say 106.6, and he overvalued it. Maybe the original price was 113.3, and the one that said 100 undervalued it 13.3, and the one that said 120 meant to say 126, overvalued it 13.3. And for the one in the Koit, Miha Strek Hamoyed Vayada. Al Capone, you should hop on the first evaluation, the lowest evaluations. The Beteris Meir Loy Matkele. He says you don't want to go over 100. Meaning, again here, Tefasta Meruba Loy Tefasta, he says. That's what the Rashbam says. Should not go over. It should be. It shouldn't. It should be under a mayor. Correct. Like it should be 99 cents store. I'm just saying he doesn't want it to go over a mayor.
What about the tax?
Okay, I hear you. Okay, Omer Avuna in the taxes. Soon the 15th. I hear you. Omer Avuna said halacha ke'achirim. The halacha is like the achirim, who says that you make the real value was 93.3. And the one that said 80 undervalued it, 13.3, and the one that said 100 meant to say 106, overvalued it 13. So Amir Avashi, time and the Achirim lo yad inon, where they come up with these these calculations, and lo yadina hilsa avdina kavasayo. Could I then paskin like them? Surely not. I don't know where they come up with these calculations.
Don't understand what they're talking about. How can they accept it?
He couldn't accept it yet. No, rather, the halach is like the Tanakama, that you go according to the middle. One said 80, one said 100, and one said 120. So you take the middle one, 100.
That's what I said.
Okay.
There's no.
Okay, good. To know, Tanu Mem, you learned. The Tanu Dayonik Gela, the Yonik Gela also passing like the Achirim. Oisim Shuma Beinei Mishalshim. They did exactly like the Achirim. That with the decimal points said that it's 90. The real price is 93.3. The one that said 80 was undervalued 13.3. The one that said 100 meant to say 106 overvalued, and the real price is 93.3. Avhuna Hilchasa Dayoni Agayla. Avhuna said the halach is like that Dayoni Agayla. Abashi heard this again. He says, "You guys, I don't know where you're coming from. Time of the Dayoni Gayla Layadina. I don't know what this whole formula that Dayoni Gayla coming up with. Hilchsa Dinan Kavasayu. Could I then paskin the halach like them? Surely not. They have to paskin like the Tanakama. Stop it. That like the Tanakama who says one said 80, one said 100, one said 120. So we're going to paskin like the one that said 100.